upside. So here the pressure is 2.5 meter of liquid. Okay, 2.5 meter of liquid. The pressure is 2.5 meter of liquid. The loss of head in the tube is 0.35 V1 square minus V2 square by 2J. This is nothing but your HL. The loss of the head in the tube is 0.35 V1 square minus V2 square by 2G. In the previous problem, he had given 20% of the pressure, velocity head, but here he is giving directly that 0.35 into V1 square minus V2 square by 2G. That is your head loss. Okay, where V1 is the velocity at the smaller end and V2 is the velocity at the lower end. So V1 is here, V2 is here. So it means that this is section 1 and section 2. Determine the pressure head at the lower end. We have to determine here what is the pressure P2 at the lower end. Flow takes place in the downward direction. So therefore the fluid is flowing in the downward direction. Okay, fine. So now we'll see the diagram how it will be. So as I said, this is section 1, this is section 2. So the velocity at the smaller end. So we have seen here that a conical tube of length 2 meters. So this is the length of 2 meter. Okay. Then is filled vertically with its smaller end upwards. So smaller end is at the upper side. The velocity of flow at the smaller end. At the smaller end is the velocity is how much? V1 is how much? 5 meter per second. The pressure head at the smaller end is 2.5. So P1 is how much? 2.5 meter of liquid. The loss of head due to in the tube is 0.35 V1 square minus V2 square by 2G. Where V1 is the velocity at the smaller end. Here it is the velocity V1 and here it is the velocity V2. Determine the pressure head at the lower end. We have to determine the pressure head P2 by rho G at the lower end. Okay, flow takes place in the downward direction. The fluid is flowing in the downward direction. Okay, so this is what they are given. So can anyone tell me what are the things they are given? They are given length equal to 2 meter. Hope I am audible to everyone. Length equal to 2 meter, right? Then the velocity of the flow at the smaller end is 5 meter per second and at the lower end is 2 meter per second. At the smaller end, we are taking V1 equal to 5 meter per second and V2 is 2 meter per second, right? Then the pressure head at the smaller end is, what is the smaller end? This one. Pressure head means P1 by rho G equal to 2.5 meter of liquid. 2.5 meter of liquid. The loss of head in the tube is 0.35 V1 square minus V2 square by 2G, where V1 is the velocity at the smaller end and V2 is the velocity at the lower end. So by this we can get to know which is which section, like V1 is which one and V2 is which one. Okay. We have to determine the pressure head. Means which pressure head? We have to determine the pressure head at the lower end. So we have to determine P2 by rho G. Flow takes place in the downward direction. So the same, I have written all the given things. So let the smaller end is represented by 1 and lower end is represented by 2. Length of the tube is given 2 meter, V1 is this much, and P1 by rho G is 2.5 meter of liquid. And V2 is 2 meter per second. Loss of head as given is 0.35 V1 square minus V2 square by 2G. Now, you have to determine the pressure head at the lower end. Okay. So I have determined this head loss due to friction, or head, we can say head loss of head. That is 0.16 meter. Okay, 0.355 minus 2 whole square divided by 2 into 9.81. It is 0.16 meter. After determining this, which formula we are going to use to determine the pressure head? Anyone? Which formula we are going to use? Euler's equation.
Bernoulli's equation.
We are going to use Bernoulli's equation. Bernoulli's equation for what? Ideal fluid or real fluid?
Ideal.
Why ideal? Because they are given head loss, na? The loss of head is given means the fluid is not ideal. Okay, as I have told you, if the fluid is ideal, we are not taking HL. Okay, if the fluid is real fluid, for real fluid, for real fluid, we are saying that there is viscosity, and because of viscosity, there will be loss in the fluid flow. Okay, therefore, we are taking the Bernoulli's equation for a real fluid. Okay, fine, good. So we have to determine the pressure P2 by rho g. Now you substitute the values and get me the answer. Let me know the answer, everyone. So if we apply Bernoulli's equation at section 1 and 2, we get like this. See here, I'll tell you one more thing. Remember this, because this equation, whatever is there now, is for ideal fluid. So we have imagined or we have assumed that the fluid is ideal, the fluid is steady, in the assumptions during the assumptions of Bernoulli's equation. But if we consider the fluid to be real, because all the fluids are real fluids, or every fluid has viscosity. Okay, so that time we cannot consider this to be what you say ideal fluid, but we have to consider it to be, if he is giving head loss, you have to consider it to be a real fluid. Okay, so the Bernoulli's equation for a real fluid, there it will be losses, because you know that like for an example, in an ideal Carnot cycle, it's completely 100% efficiency it gives, but when you go for a Rankine cycle, there will be some losses. Okay, in the same way, whenever we are going for a real fluid, we will face some losses, because when it is flowing, it will lose some of its energy because of viscosity and other things. Okay, fine. So can you calculate and let me know the answer for P2 by rho g? You have to determine P2 by rho g. Anyone?
Sir, please show previous slide, sir.
Okay. You have the given things over here. You know the formula. V1 by Ig, V1 square by 2g plus Z1 equal to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2 plus HL. Substitute all the values and get me the answer for P2 by rho g. And this problem is a bit easier compared to the previous problems which we have done. What's the answer? What is the answer? Any one of you? Hope I am audible to everyone. It is not for only for a single person to solve it and let me know the answer. The problem is for everyone. If you solve here, then you can solve in the exam. Otherwise, you won't, and you won't even practice it. Tell me the answer fast. What's the answer? Okay. What is Z2 and Z1? Z2 is 0 because it is at the bottom. And Z1 is 2 meter because the length of the tube is 2 meter. Okay. So the P2 by rho G answer is any one of you. Tell me first. 5.040. We'll see. Correct. 5.407 meter of the liquid or fluid. Okay. So here, what he is trying to say is he has given the value of P1 by rho G in terms of meter of liquid. So I have told you while deriving this equation that whatever energy equation we are getting, it is in terms of meter, like P1 by rho G, okay, plus V2 square, V1 square by V square by 2G plus Z. All are in terms of meter. Okay, the unit is meter. Therefore, it is meter of liquid. This is also one of the unit in terms of pressure head unit. Okay, so this is the answer. Fine, understood how to solve the problem? It was quite easy. Okay, so we'll go for the next problem. This is also one of the important problem which has been asked many times in the exams. And one more thing I'll tell you, if this same type of problem is asked, they'll be changing the values. Sometimes they will give specific gravity at 0.8. Okay, here he will change the diameter. Here also they may change the diameter. They may give in terms of centimeter or in terms of meter, or they may change the value itself. They may give a 3 meter of height. Okay, the pressure they may give in terms of bar. Okay, bar, bar. 1 bar equal to 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square or 10 raised to 5 Pascal. They may give in terms of bar. They may change 200 liters per second to 400 liters per second. Okay, it's like this. They will be changing the problems. Okay, so you have to be careful while solving them. Okay, don't buy at the problems. Try to solve them. Okay, you can put the values and you can try to solve them clearly. Okay, so we'll go with the problem. Next problem, that is a pipeline carrying oil. So in previously we have taken everything in terms of water and other fluids, but here they are saying that a pipeline which is carrying oil of specific gravity 0.87. Specific gravity is 0.87. Changes in diameter from 200 mm diameter at a position A to 500 diameter at position B. So it means that it is like this. Okay, it is like a convergent type. Okay, it is like a convergent type. Fine. The changes its diameter at 200 to 500 mm diameter at position B, which is 4 meter at a higher level. If the pressure at A and B are 9.81 Newton per centimeter square and 5.886 Newton per centimeter square respectively, and the discharge is 200 liter per second. Determine the loss of head, that is HL, okay, and the direction of flow. So in which direction the fluid is flowing in that pipe. Okay, understood? A pipeline which is carrying a oil of specific gravity 0.7 changes its diameter from 200 mm to 500 mm. So it means that it is a conical, or it is a diverging section of pipe. Okay, and it is at 4 meter at a position B, which is at 4 meter higher at the high level. So we got our Z1 or Z2. If the pressure at A and B are 9.81, the pressure at this A is this one, B at this much, and what is the discharge is 200 liter per second. Determine the loss of head and the direction of flow. Okay, so now this is also one of the important problems. Okay, so this is the diagram. So what is saying that DA is diameter is 200 mm, pressure is 9.81 Newton per centimeter square. The section 2 is 4 meter at higher level from the position A. So this is position A, this is position B. So B is at 4 meter higher level from the datum line. Okay. So here ZA equal to what? 0. ZB equal to what? 4 meter. Okay. From this we can understand. Diameter B is given as 500 mm and the pressure at B is 5.886 Newton per centimeter square. One more thing is that here they won't give the diagram to you, so you have to draw the diagram here. Okay, you don't expect them that in the question paper they will give the diagram. You can even check the question papers. In any of the question paper they are not given the diagram, but you should know how to draw the diagram. Okay, so here he has not given any inclination or something. Okay, so you may feel that it is like a normal vertical pipe. Okay, but he has given that from it changes the diameter from 200 mm to 500 mm at position B. So at here the position B is 500 mm, which is 4 meter higher at a higher level. So from this level it is 4 meter high. Okay, so from this we can assume that it is an inclined position. Okay, and respectively the discharge is 200 liter per second. Determine the loss of head and the direction of flow. Okay, now okay, specific gravity 0.87 is given, diameter is given, dA equal to 200 mm and dB equal to 500 mm, which is at 4 meter, that is ZB. Okay, if the pressure at A and B are, PA is 9.81 Newton per centimeter square, convert it into Newton per meter square. Anyone? Can anyone tell me the conversion for pressure to Newton per meter square? What we have to do? What we have to do? How to convert Newton per centimeter square to 9.81 Newton per centimeter square to Newton per meter square? Okay, very good. So you have to multiply it with 9.81. So 9.81 you have to multiply it with 10 raised to 4. Okay. Both for both, because both are in terms of. Okay. One more example. If they give in terms of bar and if they tell you to convert it into Newton per meter square, what you are gonna do? If they give any like they will give 1 bar, okay, or they will give 2 bar somewhere, and here they will give 3 bar, 3.5 bar, something like this. If they give, then what you are gonna do? How are you gonna convert into Newton per meter square? 10 raised to 5. Very good. Okay. So discharge is 200 liter per second. Convert it into 0.2 meter cube per second. Okay. So how you did you understand how to convert liter per second into meter cube per second? 200, whatever value they are given, divided by 1000. So when you divide it by 1000, it will be converted into meter cube per second. If you want to convert liter into meter cube, divide the value by 1000. Remember this. Divide the value by 1000. Okay. Sometimes they may give 200 liter per hour. Liter per hour. So 1 hour has 3600 seconds. You do the calculation and get it. Okay. Specific gravity is 0.7. What will be its jet? Do we require specific gravity while solving the problem? Do we require specific gravity? Do we require specific gravity? We don't require specific gravity, but we require density. So how to calculate density? What will be the density of the oil using specific gravity? Anyone? Fast. Where is mass? Has he given mass? Has he given volume? Has he given mass or volume? No. What he has given? You have written that in exam by copying it from notes, but you don't know what is specific gravity and how to calculate density from that. Density equal to 0.87 into what? 1000.
1000.
It will be 870 kg per meter cube. Okay, so we can calculate density using specific gravity by multiplying it with 1000. Okay, remember this. So density of oil is 870 kg per meter cube. Done. At section A, what all is given in the section A? Diameter is given, that is 200 mm, that is 0.2 meter. Convert that diameter into area, how much it will be? Convert and tell me the answer for area. Oh, sorry, get me the answer for area A at section A.
Zero point zero three one four
0.0314 meters square.
square.
Okay. What is the pressure? A is 9.81 in Newton per centimeter square. Converting into Newton per meter square will be 9.81 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per meter square. Then what we have? Datum line is at ZA is 0 because it is starting from this point. Okay, here it is starting, right? Starting from this point. So ZA equal to 0. Then can we calculate the velocity at this point? Do we know the velocity? No, we don't know the velocity. Can we calculate the velocity at this point? At A? How can we calculate the velocity at A? Because obviously we know that we are going to use Bernoulli's equation. Okay, we have P. We have P for both sections, A and B. Okay, we have ZA and ZB also, but we don't have velocity, na? You have rho and G also. There's no problem in that. But how to calculate VA, velocity at A? How can we calculate fast? Any one of you? Tell me fast. How can you calculate VA? Why this is given? What is discharge? How can you calculate velocity?
Bernoulli equation.
From Bernoulli's equation, we have to determine the loss of head. Then there will be two parameters now which have to be determined. So how can you calculate velocity? Using the Bernoulli's equation, we have to calculate the loss of head, okay, and the direction of flow. But if I go for Bernoulli's equation, that is PA by rho g plus VA square by 2g plus ZA equal to PB by rho g and everything. Okay, VB square by 2g plus ZB, okay, plus HL. There will be two parameters which are left, which will be unknown. Then I can't solve the problem, right? So I cannot use Bernoulli's equation to solve this VA. How
Q
can
is
I
equal
do?
to AV.
AV, Q equal to AV, very good. QA equal to AV. Area at A, velocity at A. See, I have told you that this discharge will be same throughout the pipe. The discharge will be same throughout the pipe at section A and at section B. Therefore, the answer will be from 0.2 equal to 0.0314 into VA. Okay, can tell me the answer for VA? Tell me the answer for VA. Fast. Just divide 0.2 divided by 0.0314. 0.2 divided by
0.0314.
6.36.
6.3. Let us see.
Yes.
0.2 divided by 0.034. Are you getting this? How I got that? 6.369 meter per second, or you can take 6.37 meter per second. Got this? How to determine? Don't go for Bernoulli's equation. You have to determine two things over there. Then you'll be getting confused. So you have the discharge, you have the area. So calculate using that formula. Q equal to area into velocity. Okay. Next, you only determine what all things are given in section B. What all things is given in section B? Anyone? What is the diameter at section B?
0.5
500.
0.5 meter. What is the area for that? Area at B?
0.1963 meter square.
0.1963 meter square. Okay. What is PB? 5.886 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per meter square. Okay. Okay. What is ZB? ZB 4 meter. Very good. What is VB? How will you calculate VB now? Velocity at B. Q by AB. Discharge 0.2 divided by 0.1963.
1.0188.
1.0188. So let us check whether our answers are right or wrong. Remember everything. You remember the answers. Okay. Okay. I'll do like this. At section B, dB is 0.5 meter. Correct. Area is 0.1963. Someone had told me 0.1963. Very good. Okay. Area is this much. PB is 5.886 Newton per centimeter. That is 5.886 10 to 10 to the 4 Newton per meter square. ZB is 4 meter. Then we determined VB, that is 1.018. Are the answers correct? What we have said in the previous slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay. Now we have everything. Now we have to determine the loss of head. So in the same, we have to use the same formula, but I'll tell you the difference how you are going to use this. Okay. So first we'll check the total energy at A. What is the formula for total energy at A? Total energy at A, that is EA, equal to PA by rho G plus VA square by 2G plus ZA. You calculate this first. Okay. Then total energy at B. Why we have divided it like this, I'll tell you. Total energy andra idala sum of pressure head, velocity head and datum head. Okay. It is nothing but Bernoulli's equation itself. Don't get confused. Okay. Total energy at B is PB by rho G plus PB square by 2G plus ZB. You calculate these two and let me know the answer first in terms of meter. You calculate total energy at A and total energy at B. Then I'll tell you what will be the difference and what will be the flow. How will be the flow? You only have to tell that.
Sir, PA by rho G, sir, rho we should take 870 or 1000.
870, because the density of fluid which is flowing through the pipe is 870. Whatever fluid is flowing through the pipe, that you have to take here.
Okay, sir. Sir, total energy at A is 13.57.
Okay. PB you find out. Total energy at B. Total energy at B you find out and we'll see the answers how it is. Fast.
Sir, 10.94.
10.94. Okay. So we'll check the answers now. So total energy at A, this is the formula. I got 13.56. Is this right? Someone has got
Yes.
13.1. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Total energy at B. PBI rho G, VB square by 2G plus ZB. The answer is 10.95. Is this right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what they have told you to find out? They have told you to find out the head loss. Okay. So how you determine the loss of head? Loss of head. So the fluid is flowing like this, na? The fluid is flowing like this. Okay. So you have to determine the losses at both the sections. So it will be 13.56 minus 10.95. Okay. What is the answer for this? This is your energy loss, loss of head. 13.56. Huh?
2.61, sir.
2.61 meter.
2.61. 2.61.
Now tell me what is will be the direction of the fluid flowing? Whether it is flowing from A to B or B to A.
B to A. B to A.
B to A. See, I'll tell again, I'll show you the diagram. You got the answers now? Okay. I'll show you the diagram first. Then you decide and tell me whether in what way the fluid will be flowing. This is the pipe. Okay. So you got the answers at EA and EB. Okay. Then you determine the head loss, loss of head. Okay. At this throughout the pipe. Okay. Now can anyone tell me what is the flow of fluid, whether it is flowing in this direction or in this direction? That is from A to B or B to A.
B to A.
How? Why? You tell me why. Anyone can tell. Anyone can predict that it's from A to B or B to A. But you tell me why. Give me the reasons.
So in question it is mentioned that it changes the diameter from 200 to 500 means
500.
A to B.
A to B. Okay. So here in the answers itself, there is here. See here. Energy at A is more. Do you agree? Energy at A is more. When it flows through the pipe, it loses its energy. It will lose its energy, right? That it has loosened to 10.95 meters. So the difference is 2.61 meter between energy at point A and point B. Therefore, the fluid is flowing from A to B. The fluid direction of the fluid flow is from A to B because at A, the total energy at A is more and the total energy at B is less. Okay. So direction of flow is as EA is more than EB and flow takes place from A to B. Okay. Then the loss of head 2.61 bola tha na? 2.69 meter. Understood the problem? Everyone? This is the important problem. They will be asking you by changing the values. Most of the questions are like that only. That's why I'm telling you to concentrate on whatever problems I did in 2 days. Yesterday, then last 3 days. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, Saturday, and including today's also. Okay.
Sir, 2.61 meters.
It's fine. इतना आया तो बस है ना, मैं गलत हूँ क्या? नहीं ना? So you have got some other answers, you have calculated it, and I got some other answers, I have calculated it like this. Okay, is it fine?
Yes, sir.
So the problems are done. So now we'll be dealing with the limitation of Bernoulli's equation. So as we have gone through that, we have said that the fluid is flowing. We have given some assumption. What are the assumptions made during the Bernoulli's equation? Can anyone tell me? The flow is steady. Okay. The flow is irrotational. Fine. Then the fluid is ideal. Right. Another one was steady, ideal, and incompressible flow. Okay. See here. But what happens is whenever we are saying that fluid is steady, what happens is we cannot say that the velocity is zero with respect to time. Okay. So what happens is whenever the fluid is flowing through the pipe, at the center, the velocity will be maximum. Do you agree or no? At the center of the pipe, when the fluid is flowing through the center of the pipe, if you imagine that this complete pipe is filled with water, okay, or any fluid. Okay, where will be the more maximum velocity? The maximum velocity will be at the center. Why? Why the velocity will be maximum at the center of the pipe? Anyone? Okay, see here, it's a very common, simple thing, right? See here, at the center, there is no friction between the fluid and the pipe. Okay, so the pipe won't create a friction to the fluid flow. Do you agree? Okay, now, so at the center of the pipe, the velocity is maximum. As the velocity goes towards the wall, the velocity goes on decreasing. So at the near the pipe or near the surface, the fluid velocity is zero. As I have told you, have seen this now. I have told you some example. This example, remember, at the surface velocity is zero, but at the at near to the surface the velocity is zero. Near to the atmosphere or near to the at the center of the pipe it is maximum. So at the center of the pipe it is maximum. So we'll see like this here. If this is the pipe, the fluid is flowing like this. Okay, this is the center of the pipe. So at this point velocity is maximum. So the velocity will change like this. Okay, so velocity is maximum at this point, velocity is zero, velocity is here near to the surface. So he is saying that all the fluids will be exhibiting this property. Therefore, we have to take then average velocity of the fluid which is flowing through the pipe. Okay, so the Bernoulli equation has been derived based on the assumption that velocity of flow is uniform and steady across the cross section, but in actual practice it is not so, because velocity of flow is maximum at the center of the pipe and it decreases gradually towards the wall. When it goes towards the wall, it goes on decreasing. The velocity goes on decreasing. While using Bernoulli's equation, we have to take the average velocity consideration. Okay, this is one limitation. Okay, another limitation is that we are saying that only we are derived the Euler's equation. We have derived the Euler's equation considering two forces. Which are those? Anyone? We have considered two forces for Euler equation. Na? Which were those? Pressure and gravity. Gravity force are acting. But in actual cases, what happens is there will be some viscous forces which will be acting and the other forces which will be acting. Because the fluid is the fluid is real, which is flowing through the pipe. Therefore, there will be some viscous forces also acting, or an external forces also acting on the fluid flow. So these are the limitation of Bernoulli's equation. So these are like assumptions which we have made. They are based on the ideal fluid. Okay. So, but in actual practice, we are using a real fluid. Therefore, there will be some limitations of Bernoulli's equation. Okay. Have you heard of atomizer? Anyone? Atomizer मतलब पता है क्या किसी को? Does anyone know the atomizer? What is meant by an atomizer? When you go for haircut, okay, when you go for a haircut or a salon, what you will see? You'll be using something to spray water on your head, na? What is that? You know it by a sprayer, nahi? Water sprayer. It is called as an atomizer, which atomizes the water droplets into what small droplets. Okay, so that is working on the principle of Bernoulli's equation. Even your spray or deodorants which you are using at home, it is working on the principle of Bernoulli's equation. Okay, so now we'll go with the application of Bernoulli's equation. Okay, so the Bernoulli's equation is applied. Hope everyone is there. So the Bernoulli's equation is applied in all problems of incompressible fluid flow where energy concentrations are involved. Okay, so wherever the incompressible fluid flow is there, and wherever we are considering the energy. Okay, but we shall consider its application to the following measuring devices. That is, someone mute. Please mute. Okay. But we shall consider its application to the following measuring devices, that is venturimeter, orifice meter, and put-out tube. So these are the applications for the Bernoulli's equation. These are also called as flow meters. These are also called as flow meters. They determine the rate of flow of a fluid flowing through the pipe. Okay, these are also known as flow meters. Okay, venturimeter, orifice meter, and put-out tube. Okay, now. So we shall see one by each one of them. First, we'll go with the venturimeter. So the venturimeter is a device. A venturimeter is a device used for measuring the discharge or the rate of flow of fluid which is flowing through the pipes. Venturimeter is a device used for measuring the discharge or the rate of flow of fluid through the pipes. In this device, so in this we are determining the discharge or the rate of flow through which is flowing through the pipes. Okay, so in this device we are having a reduced cross-sectional area of the flow passage. A pressure difference is created between those two, and the measurement of pressure difference enables the determine the discharge through the pipe. Here what is happening is we are having two different cross-sectional areas. That is, one is throat, this one, another one is inlet of the pipe. Okay, so we are measuring the pressure difference between this reduction in the flow section area. Okay, so here the area is reduced, here also the area is reduced. Okay, we are measuring the pressure difference and we are determining the discharge which is flowing through the pipe. So a venturimeter consists of three parts. A venturimeter consists of three parts. One is an inlet section. This is the inlet section, and this section is the venturimeter is connected to a pipe, okay, through which we have to determine its discharge. So that inlet section followed by a convergent section. So this is the pipe to which we are connecting the venturimeter, and it is followed by a convergent section. This is convergent. The body is converging. Okay, this is the convergent section. Okay, there's one more part known as throat. Throat is in between a convergent part and a divergent part. And the next one is a gradually diverging cone, that is this one. So therefore, there are three important parts of a venturimeter. One is the convergent section, another one is the throat, and the diverging section. And the pressure difference is measured between at this point at section 1 and section 2. The section 2 is the throat and section 1 is the pipe or the inlet of the inlet pipe. Okay, so this is the this is actually a venturimeter, how it looks. So a venturimeter consists of an inlet which is followed by a converging section, a throat, and a gradually diverging cone. Okay. Fine. So the next is we will discuss the parts and we shall conclude the class now. Okay, so these are the parts which we have discussed about the venturimeter. So here the inlet section which is followed by a convergent section. This is first part, this one. The inlet section, this one, followed by a converging part. What happens here is the diameter of the inlet section of the venturimeter is same as that of the pipe, and it is followed by a convergent cone. So the inlet section of the whatever inlet section of the venturimeter is there, it will be same as that of the pipe.
okay, to which we have to connect it. Okay, a convergent cone is a short pipe which tapers from the original size of the pipe to that of the throat of the venturimeter. So the convergent cone is a short pipe, okay, which is converged, okay, which is having a taper shape and which is connecting to the throat, which is connecting to the throat. The angle of converging cone, which is its angle of converging cone. This is the angle of converging cone. This is the angle of converging cone. It is 20 degree. Angle of converging cone is 20 degree, and it is used to accelerate the flow. This angle is so large that because the losses in the accelerating fluid are not desirable. So whatever loss of acceleration is taking place, it is not desirable. Okay. The throat of the venturimeter. Next one is the cylindrical throat, which is the next part, that is section 2. Okay, cylindrical throat. A throat of venturimeter is a short parallel-sided tube having its cross-sectional area smaller than that of the pipe. So this is the pipe cross-sectional area. The throat is smaller than the cross-sectional area of the pipe, and this is at this point only we are measuring the pressure, and at the inlet of the pipe we are measuring the pressure. Okay. Generally, the length of the throat is equal to its diameter. So the length and the throat diameter are same. Okay. The next part will be the diverging part. Okay. Diverging part of the venturimeter is gradually a diverging pipe with its cross-sectional area increasing. Okay. Here it is in conversion, it is decreasing, but here in diverging cone it is increasing. From that of the throat, from the throat to the original size of the shape of the pipe. Okay, so here it started converging from the original size of the pipe to the throat, and from throat it is going on expanding or increasing towards the cross section of the area of the pipe. Okay, this part is what happens at this point is the pressure, whatever kinetic energy is there, the fluid will be converted into pressure energy, and whatever pressure has to be restored throughout the pipe is maintained to its original value. So here only you can understand that at this point the pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy, the kinetic energy is maintained. Okay, and at this point the kinetic energy is converted into pressure energy, and whatever pressure is maintained throughout the pipe is brought to the original position or original value. Okay, so this is a construction of venturimeter. So in the next class we'll be dealing with the derivation on venturimeter. Okay, how to determine the flow rate.